As a lecturer, as a teacher, you should have an extra source of income that fetches you money apart from your teaching skills.
As a lecturer, as the teacher you have 50 students, only 5 are willing to learn, and 45 are not ready to learn. At the end of the day, you check your test and assignment, and you find out that only 5 pass. Will you fail 45? My name is Mr. Bolingo. The host of Chronicles of Bolingo today. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Mm.
So please, can you tell us your name?
Okay, my name is Comrade Chris Okafor.
Okay, so may we know you a little bit, like what you do. Maybe tell us a little about yourself.
Okay, I'm a student. I'm also an educator.
Okay.
I'm also a minister of the gospel.
Okay.
Wow. And so
That's fantastic. Okay. So bringing you for the topic of today, when I heard of your profile and I said, wow, this is a kind of person we like to have on our show. So today we'll be talking about educational system in Nigeria. So I don't know if you understand our topic. So we'd like you to, tell us, do you understand our topic? Can you tell us what you understand about our topic?
okay, you said educational system in Nigeria.
Yes.
All right. Unless I forget, I think I forgot to tell them also I'm a youth coach as well. I'm a
Okay.
youth coach. I mentor youth, teach them, and I nurture them as well. That is one of my assignments. Okay, coming to your topic about educational system in Nigeria. First of all, before we dive into that, let's check and know what is education first. I think I will define education now. What is education? A primary school student or pupil can say, ask you, someone can still ask you, say, Chris, what is education? Okay, I think education is a system or um, a way of acquiring knowledge. Understand? And not just knowledge. If you define education as a way or system of acquiring knowledge, you didn't get it right because you don't just acquire knowledge, you can still acquire values and morals. You can still acquire um, skills. So education is not a balance until you finish it up. So education is a system or a way or process of acquiring knowledge. One, skills. Two, and number three, values and morals. I think this is the definition of education.
Okay. So can you throw more light, like what types of education do we have in Nigeria?
That's a very good question. Education can be formal. You have three types of education in Nigeria. Okay? But generally, education can be formal and education can be informal.
Okay.
And education can be semi-formal.
Mm.
So when you talk about formal, we are talking about your parents, your upbringing, that's parenting. When you talking about formal, you're talking about an organized system, an organized structure,
Okay.
where you have the board, where you have the organization, you have the administrative. And so you have the principal, rector, whatsoever. It's an organized system. So that's what we're talking about formal education. So when you're talking about semi-formal education, it's just an outside educational system that has to do with experiences. Because I always believe that's my personal belief that everybody is a student.
Okay, so when you mean it's informal, like if you see when people say travel is part of education.
Exactly.
But do you believe that travel is part of education?
Definitely, so I believe that travel, but yes, definitely, because for instance, in the city where you are right now, you can't just compare with Lagos. So for you to know more about Lagos, you have to travel to Lagos to know your environment, to know the kind of place where that place is, to know the kind of systems of government they run, to know the kind of people or citizens that are studying in that place. Understand? So some people come up and say people in Enugu and people in Lagos are not quite the same thing.
Okay.
Definitely. So for someone to know this, you have to, I think, touch Enugu and also touch Lagos for you to get that knowledge and tell not differentiate and say these people that you are coming from this place, this people are also coming from this place as well. So but traveling is also part of education. You travel to learn along these learning things. Yeah.
I never believe this, people say, bro, I was say, I mean, it's me that I've traveled so many years, I should have maybe gotten a lot of degrees. Okay, moving on. Okay, the major reason why we actually choose this topic is about the formal education. I believe we have understand what is the type of education. So we're now hitting right to the formal education.
Okay,
Okay, now let's go straight to formal education. You said it's an organized system of learning.
exactly.
Okay, now so now we are talking about this system of education in Nigeria. You know, in today's world, a lot of people are use this word education is scam. Do you believe so?
Okay, that's a very powerful question, and I will tell you that education is not scam. It depends on the system of education that being run in that particular locality. So how do I mean? This type of the system of education that China runs is not the same thing or the same way Nigeria runs their own system of education. So they differ. So when you say you're saying that education is a scam, my own question should be in that particular country where you stay, what type of education are they running?